I created this theme to avoid copyright. I created this theme to avoid copyright. I created this theme to avoid copyright. Welcome to Grandpa's World. Ah, yes, there we are. There we are.
Here. Back for the attack.
Hopefully you're feeling better.
Oh, yeah. I did hurt my back. You know, being old and everything, it's always fun how you can injure yourself doing the dumbest shit, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was putting some... Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was putting some tape on my toe, right? Putting some tape on my toe and putting my sock on, and I friggin' hurt my back. Can you believe that?
That sucks. You can be doing something where you think, okay, if I do this, I'm gonna hurt myself, and then you're fine. But then you do something stupid like sneeze,
and then blow your back out.
Yeah, you can't walk for a week. Yeah, it's
right.
Bullshit.
That's where I'm at right now, dude. I'm all hunched over. You know, could barely walk. Laying down sucks when you try to roll over and your back hurts. Thinking I gotta call the ambulance or some shit to get me out of bed, dude. It sucks, man.
Yeah, our back is like. I remember one time I was at the doctor, and I don't know if she was some kind of religious nut or something, but I remember being at a doctor's office one time, and this nurse was like, "You do realize, or you do know why humans have really bad back problems?" I'm like, "No, why?" She goes, "Because we were never meant to walk upright." And I thought about it. I thought, well, maybe she's onto something, but I don't know. She could just be one of those people that's, anti-evolution, or I don't know. It was just a weird thing for someone to say out of the blue, but that's stuck in the back of my head. Like, well, I mean, what if she's right? What if we?
What would that be like, man? Creeping around on all fours all the time. Would we be sniffing each other's butts and shit for real? That would get pretty nasty, man.
Well, I don't think we would have the instincts to be dog-like, like sniffing butts. We'd still be humans. We'd just be. I don't know if she meant like walking on all fours, or if she was inferring, trying to reference like monkeys, where we're more hunched over and because the gorilla can run upright, but he prefers
But he prefers to creep around on all fours, so.
Right. So, and I was.
Your way, I don't think I'd like it.
Right. And of course, obviously, I'm not I am a dick, but I'm not a dick to, I'm not going to be a dick to the person who is like a nurse, because this woman might need to give me a shot. So you humor her like, oh, yeah, okay, yeah, thanks. I see. Because the last thing you want to do is piss off the lady who's getting ready to stab you. And she's like, oh,
you don't want no extra air bubbles in your shot or anything, man.
Right. You don't want her like, oh, I missed. Wait, hold on. I missed. Wait, I missed. And then you go home and your arm's purple and swollen. And it's
right.
I shouldn't have talked shit.
I call that digging around. And when they got to dig around and find a vein and all that shit. Not good. Oh, we got somebody on the line already, man.
Yeah. Ken is up there.
Okay, Ken.
Yep. And I'm behind on my duties. So if anybody missed his show on Tuesday, it's finally up on demand, so you can check it out.
Now I heard that there's a major casting announcement on Death Bitch 2, man.
Yes. I don't know if he did it last night. I think he's waiting for next week. But I can't wait.
I can't wait either. It's going to be good. I just checked out Zombie Rage the other day, and I loved it. I thought it was great.
Oh, you finally saw it?
Yep. So I'm pretty well caught up, except I haven't saw Return to Death Park yet. And I think that's the only one that I haven't seen yet. So I heard you got that over there on DVD, right?
Yep. And yes, I know who's coming. I know the name, but I'm sworn to secrecy.
Born secrecy. Is
Yes,
it
I
someone? Is it someone kind of big on the up and up like Mukes or what?
I mean, you know, Ken is like this mystical dude who can like do such wonderful things, and I'm thinking it might be Roddy Piper. I'm just,
That would take a feat of
Ken could do it. I'm sure he's got some voodoo rituals in a book somewhere, and
right.
he could get us Roddy Piper.
Yeah, but if he could do that, why wouldn't he go full Macho Man for us? Why
He's
couldn't he bring back Macho Man for
well,
us?
maybe Macho's not a fit for Death Bitch. Maybe he's a fit for a different movie later on.
Oh yeah, this bitch in the house. Yeah.
I
And
guess I can. I guess I can show you this because he posted it. So he
okay.
says she is one of the original 3 Scream Queens.
Oh, let's see here. I'm guessing it's the girl from Friday the 13th, Part 1.
You'll have to wait and see when he makes his big announcement.
Because, if he's pulling like Jamie Lee Curtis numbers over there, that'd be pretty impressive. What about Nancy from Nightmare on Elm Street? That'd be something right there, man. I don't think she was one of the original 3, though.
No,
You know, she was up there, but
Ken's encyclopedia of movies. Everybody. Scream Queens can come from anywhere. You know what I mean? I mean, it could be she could have been in a 70s Italian horror film for all we know.
well, it's
Just
going to bug me. Before we go any further, it's going to bug me. Why can't I think of Nancy's real name?
because I can't, and we're on the same.
I know, dude. It's going to bug me the whole show if I don't fucking know it.
Well, here's his reply to you. The original Scream Queens were Leanna Quigley,
Yep.
Brink Stevens, and Michelle Chad Bauer.
Okay, what movies were they on? Because I'm kind of lame when it comes to the original Scream Queen. I'm more 80s, I guess, or maybe they were 80s. I don't know.
Heather Langenkamp is what you're trying to.
That's it. It's Heather Langenkamp. Thank you, whoever chimed in on there.
That was Ken. She was also in Just the 10 of Us on ABC.
Yep. Because there wasn't just the 10 of us. Wasn't that the show that had a bunch of Nightmare on Elm Street girls in it? Like it had Tuesday Nights, Heather Langenkamp, and then the Roach Girl was in there too, wasn't it? Or was that a different show?
That might have been. I don't know. I can peep. But what was the one chick's name?
Tuesday Night.
Tuesday Night.
I think Tuesday Night was in it. Tuesday Night was the one that took over for Patricia Arquette. Because she was too good to come back for Nightmare 3.
Well, I'm looking at Tuesday Night now, and her notable TV appearances were Profiler, X-Files, The Facts of Life, Fame. I don't see anything she did with Heather Langenkamp on here.
Okay, maybe it was a different girl then. Because I know that there was a show out there that had like numerous girls from the Nightmare series in it. And I just can't remember what it was called.
Yeah, Just the 10 of Us had that one had Heather Langenkamp. Frank Bonner from WKRP, he was in it.
I got
Even Sid Haig was in some episodes of Just the 10 of Us.
you gotta love old Sid Haig, man. Yeah, I miss Sid Haig, dude. You know, it's kind of tragic that he, you know, got real famous toward the end of his career, considering he did so much stuff. Now,
Wow. I didn't know this. Just the 10
what's
of
that?
Us. Just the 10 of Us must have been a spin-off of
Ain't it enough?
growing pains, because it's showing here in the cast list that Kirk Cameron was in an episode of Just the 10 of Us as Mike Seaver. So it must have been a spin-off.
I guess so, or some kind of crossover.
Yep. It was a spin-off of Growing Pains.
Good old Kirk Cameron. Weirdo.
Jesus loves you, Murray. Be
I
quiet.
was going to say, praise Jesus. It's old Kirk Cameron. Praise Jesus. Yeah, but you know, I guess you got to give it to old Kirk. You know, he was famous in Hollywood. You know, his picture was on every girl's wall. Was probably tons of drugs, tons of women, and he turns to Jesus. You know, I guess he was kind of a butthead about it. You know, like making sets kind of unbearable to film with. But you know, that takes a lot of conviction to do that kind of stuff in Hollywood. You know,
Well,
it killed his career.
I've never really I have never really thought I let people be people. Like I
Right.
said on my radio show, I just want to be a free man. I just want to live my life and be happy. And I don't care, like I said, I don't care what you're doing next door. Whatever you do makes you happy. You know, if you don't want to eat mushrooms, that's your business. I'm going to eat all the mushrooms I can get my hands on. You know what I mean?
Man, unless they're morale, dude.
So,
Unless they're morale, man.
so I mean, my only problem with Kirk Cameron is the push. If you want to be religious, that's cool. Even if you want to talk about it openly, because you know you're a celebrity. If you want to talk about it openly, I'm cool with that too. But he just seems like he wants to slam it in everybody's face, and that's the problem.
Right, like you have to be like this. I guess that's how he was on set. You know, like you have to do things this way. Things have to be a certain way. We got to stop and pray in the middle of the scene and all that stuff. And I don't know. Now, hey, Grandpa, you got a wide range of knowledge about this stuff.
Uh-oh.
There was a side character. I believe he was the guy that was on Trick or Treat. And his character name was Boner.
That was Boner was the son of Walter Koenig, Chekhov from Star Trek. That was his son in real life.
You learn something new every day. I did not know that.
Yeah.
I just, you know, being an adolescent kid in the 80s, of course, when you heard the name Boner, you had to laugh a little bit. So
Yeah, Boner, rest in peace. Yeah, he was Chekhov's son in real life. Walter
Gotcha.
Koenig's son. Yep.
As long as he wasn't George Takei's kid, I'm fine with it.
Yeah, you really don't like George.
I don't like George Takei. And I'm on the internet. You know, if anybody wants to come for me, fuck George Takei, man. Sorry, I had to get that out, man. I'm sorry. I just had to get that out. I'm not a fan.
Ken's wanting to come on sometime and join us.
Hey, that's fine.
I'm thinking we should do a good old we should plan an episode with Ken, and we should do a heavy metal episode.
Hey, I am 100% down, man. He was a guest. I did a show with Cyrus, and he on guitar, best guitarists, and Ken was a guest, and we had a real good conversation about some of the best guitarists out there. You know, it's our you know, tastes differed a bit, but we still like the good hard rock and everything. So
Like
Yeah,
from
dude,
all
I'm down with a metal episode.
like from all the years of doing uh the Music Moment for him, I know he is one of the biggest fans of Motley Crue I've ever seen.
Man, I'm a pretty big Motley Crue fan myself, man. Are you joking about that? Is he really a Motley Crue?
Yeah. He probably just threw his laptop. Yeah, he don't like
He-
Motley Crue.
Man, now I feel like an asshole, dude. I like Motley Crue, man.
He don't like Guns
But
N' Roses either.
In my opinion, Karabi Crew was their best album.
Oh yeah, I like Motley Crue too, but I'm curious. I want to. Yeah. See, he said, he said he's joking, Murr.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah,
All
yeah,
right. All right.
I would like to get him on the show and see if he's one of the metal guys who thinks Manowar sucks and they're all gay. Because we had that discussion a little while back, how the metal guys today think they're a bunch of homos and it's
And that's
gay.
what breaks my heart, man, because that cheese factor was half of what made them. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think any of us took them seriously. Like we weren't going to run out with loincloths and swords and die for the steel and the metal. But that over the top, you know, misogynistic, machismo, heavy metal to the bone. I love that shit, man. I love Manowar.
Well,
And to hear people like ripping on him, it breaks my fucking heart, dude.
Well, here's something that has always been interesting to me. I'm going to show you his answer to the Manowar thing.
Okay.
He says, I swear to God, he's never heard them.
Whoa!
And see, that's what I'm saying. Even in the world of metal, I think there's an East Coast, West Coast, because there's some songs and bands he would play on B Movie that from the 80s that I had never heard of. It must have been a West Coast.
Stuff. Yeah, there's some stuff he plays on his show that I'm like, okay, dude, I want to pretend I'm cool and like say I've heard this stuff, but there's always something new on there. But it does surprise me he's never heard Manowar. Manowar is, it's like if you take He-Man and the Masters of the Universe and you give them guitars and shit, they're like barbarian metal. It's 5-part cheese, 4 parts testosterone, and 1 part metal, I guess. It's hard to explain. But the dude's got an amazing voice. You got to admit, Eric Adams is a hell of a singer, dude.
Well, like I've said before, I love Manowar to death, but they are probably the most homoerotic band on the planet. Maybe not anymore, but they were back then. I don't think they dress that way anymore. But
back then, that kind of shit wasn't what it is now. You know what I mean? Because back then, we were watching like Deathstalker and Beastmaster and He-Man,
right,
and Conan the Barbarian, and that kind of stuff. We didn't think it was homoerotic back then, or we didn't know what that meant.
Well, I'm saying, as I, when in the 90s, looking back and going through that,
Looking back, I mean, looking back, it's like, dude, if it came out today, it'd be fucking hella gay. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, if you look at the first cover of Poison's album, look at the cat track, then that's homoerotic too. So, I mean,
Did I tell you, man, my parents, Poison, Look What the Cat Dragged In, was one of the first albums that I bought. And I brought it home from Kmart, right? And I bring it in and my mom grabs it and she's like, oh my God. And she gives it to my dad and she's like, do you really think he should be listening to this kind of stuff? And I'm like, what? They're just heavy metal dudes. And I had no idea why she was freaking out. She thought they were all transgenders, man.
Oh.
Yeah, she thought they were all cross dressers and transgenders and the whole bit, you know, and then
So Ken's asking if they're kind of Gwarish. Manowar's not gore. They're Gwarish in the fact that they're wearing really tight outfits and skimpy outfits, but not as over the top. You know,
they're not as theatrical as Gwar and have like you know, the blood and the props and everything. But yeah, would you call them? They're not a joke. They're not a joke band because their music is awesome, but you have to take it for what it is. Like,
you're talking about Gore.
well, I'm talking about Manowar.
Oh,
Gwar, you know, Gwar is like a joke, and even though their music is fantastic, you know it's theatrics and meant to be over the top. Manowar kind of rides that line of, is it cheesy? Is it a joke? Or are these guys serious about their utter devotion to metal?
Yeah,
And go ahead.
Manowar just wanted to play loud, be loud, but they wanted to dress up like they were, you know,
barbarians.
You know, like they wanted to all look like the Frank Frazetta picture. You know,
exactly.
Yeah. So
and
they
most
weren't.
of their album covers had, you know, big muscle bound dudes with swords and shit. And
see, now I like Lordy. He's asking if it's sort of like Lordy. I like Lordy, but Lordy is more of a. They're like War, but for the horror people, kind of, because they're just all monsters.
I'd say Lordy is more Gwar. Manowar is more to the people that are like, dude, I'm metal. I'm so the guys that wear like studded gauntlets and you know, bullet belts and that kind of stuff.
The kind of band that Rob Halford would really love to watch.
Right, yeah, but they're not gay though.
Well, but they're not. No, Manowar is not gay, but they kind of like.
They're metal. They're just
right, but people would look at them and think people would look at them and think nowadays. Like I said, back then we didn't think that because you know we liked He-Man and shit. But you know yeah.
I think you could sum up Manowar with one phrase: machismo metal. It's all about machismo.
He's like he says Motorhead like. I would say like Motorhead, just less clothes.
Yes, yeah, man, yeah, dude. That's a good way to put it. Motorhead with less clothes, and they were a little bit prettier than metal. They were a little bit prettier than Manowar. You know, just not by much. You know, but you know, Lenny. My favorite quote Lemmy said was, "If we moved next door to you, your lawn would die." You know, God rest his soul, Lemmy, man. I only got one friggin' album of Motorhead on CD or cassette or anything. I only got one Motorhead album. But I somehow know all their songs. Man.
I finally listened to this today.
What is that? I can't see it.
Gore. Scream Bloody Gore.
Scream Bloody Gore?
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, you know what fucking freaked me out? It freaked me out that Chuck Schuldiner is younger than you and me. Which means that dude was making albums when he was like 14 years old.
Yeah, because this is a reprint, obviously.
Right,
and at the bottom it says Chuck Schuldiner, 1967 to 2001. So yeah.
Well, never mind.
He was born in 67.
Because last night you said 1976.
I must have misspoke. Yeah.
He was. Yeah, because I was like, holy, wait a minute.
Oh, no.
That would make Chuck Schuldiner would have been like 14 years old.
No, he was born in 67, so he's still a Gen Xer. just a
Right,
very
yeah,
early one. And
right,
I think Chuck, had he been alive today, he's more close to Ken's age because I know Ken's older than us.
right,
So
right. Yeah,
so I'm thinking he's born in '67, so he's closer to Ken's age, I think.
gotcha. And I do have to make a correct you on one thing you said last night. You said you had my copy of Human. You got Symbolic. I
Yeah.
don't have Human. Yeah, Symbolic is a great record, man. I
Okay.
love that record, but I like Human even more, and I can't find a copy of Human anywhere.
See,
So
I don't know which death that like that one's obviously a reprint because it's got his birth death date on there. So that's a
yeah,
reprint, which I don't mind. Would I like an original? Yeah, but I'm not gonna be one of those. You know, if
yeah,
I
dude. But in original Scream Bloody Gore, you would have probably paid probably about $150 for it.
I like death, but not that much.
Yeah,
So
I'm the same way. Yeah,
so but the reprint's fine because I still get the sound, the crackle of the needle, and it
yep,
sounds
yep.
very, So I enjoyed it, but I don't know which other albums of theirs have been remastered and re-released. I know.
Um, I have Spiritual Healing. Spiritual Healing has Scream Bloody Gore. I believe Leprosy has. I know Sound of Perseverance. I don't know if that's been reissued because it's a later press. Human definitely has. Individual Thought Patterns has. God, Death did so many things. But when he was dying, he was kind of trying to get out of. He was trying to get away from the whole death metal thing. He was working on an album that was more kind of like new metal, like alternative metal, and I think it was called Control Denied or something to that effect. And I believe there's either one album floating out there or it never got released and the demos are on YouTube. But yeah, I think it's definitely Control something like Control Denied or Control Granted or something, or I am not 100% sure. But God rest his soul. I think he got brain cancer from singing like that. You know what I mean? I know that doesn't make any sense. I
Well, he wasn't the he when the band first started, he wasn't the singer. He didn't start singing until he kept having too many. Death was a revolving door of other musicians.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And
They had James Murphy for a while.
right, hell, even from King Diamond did an album with him.
Andy LaRock.
Yeah,
I have to give a word out to one of our non-sponsors, Sunkissed Orange, the best orange soda on the planet. I had to give that out there.
yeah. I'm finishing off my expired dragon fruits.
Nice. I think they still might have it at Walmart.
They're probably all expired. Mine expired in March, but I only got a 12 pack, so I'll be able to down it quick.
Yeah, that's good stuff, though. Harvey ended up hating the goddamn cream soda.
He didn't like the Dirty Dew.
Nah, he didn't, man. I'm surprised because
Wow.
I thought it was decent. I don't know if I'd get any more, but
So I finally got I got all these. Ugh. Let me see. Ugh. So yeah, they're all remasters. None of these are original, but
yeah,
obviously.
but still, they're pretty awesome.
Now my wife's not pleased with me, but I got Garage Inc.
Oh, can I ask how much did that run you?
It was I think 32.
Not bad, not bad. Not you didn't do too bad. So if she's mad at you, tell her your friend Murray.
Master
All
of
right, well,
Puppets.
that's a good one. Mine's an OG.
Kill 'em all.
Yep, mine's an OG of that too.
Ride the Lightning.
Yeah, I got that. You didn't pay more than 20 for that, did you?
No, I paid like 22 for these
All right, yeah,
Metallica,
okay. Yeah,
and then
that's
I
a good one. That's a little bit pricier.
load
How much did that run you, if you don't mind me asking?
22.
No, you did not get load for 22.
Yep, and
Where
then
did you get that?
72 seasons.
Where did you get load for 22 bucks?
I got it at the robot, the rocket.
No shit, really? Fucking A. I paid way more than that for my load, dude. That didn't sound
No,
good.
that didn't sound good, but I know what
Yeah,
you're
that
saying.
didn't sound good. I'm sorry, people watching. I walked into that shit.
See,
But
Ken says it's funny because 20 years ago, all those albums were like a buck.
right, yeah, that's the fucked up part, man. It's like now, everything that was on clearance is worth stupid money now.
Well, my
You know,
wife is pissed because they're Metallica. She doesn't care about the Death album or anything. My wife is so angry about Saint Anger to this day. To this day, she goes, "I'm just over Metallica." She will not. She
you
hates
won't
listening.
forgive them, man.
She
Come on,
hates.
they learned. They're going through a bad time.
She hates listening to them. She don't want to look at them. She thinks Lars. She just no. So she's pissed that I bought them. But if I ever buy Saint Anger, she said she'd pack her bags and leave.
Right,
And,
right. Well,
and it's an orange vinyl. I really want it just because of the vinyl, but she said no, and I
I
gotta.
want it for the cover because it's like I told you before. It's just kind of funny that their absolute worst album has their best cover. It was old school Pushhead. You know, but dude, I forgave Metallica right away. I was in line. I was at the midnight release for Death Magnetic. I actually won some exclusive artwork for that album the night it came out. But Death Magnetic, I don't think that was much better, but it was still better than Saint Anger. I don't like the way it was produced. Everybody says Rick Rubin is a god and he's one of the greatest producers. That's true, but he did not do a good job on Death Magnetic. He he did something called brick walling, where they compress the sound and then have it at maximum volume. So you get the loudest record you can, but everything redlined. It was clipping and it sounded like shit. I still like the album though. I mean, I have it on vinyl. Now, if you find Reload for 22 bucks, you got to get that right away. Because Reload is the one that for some reason seems to be the most expensive one. And I don't have any idea why. It wasn't that great of an album. I liked it a little bit better than Load, but I don't know if they just didn't reissue it yet or what the deal is. But Reload is like the one that I cannot get because it's stupid expensive. Like the only copy I saw went for 55 bucks. And I ain't doing that.
Yeah, that's
They
expensive.
might have it on Amazon now, but I haven't checked on it in a long time. But you brought up something before I got you off track. You brought up Andy LaRock from King Diamond.
Yes.
He's got a new project out, and it's pretty much King Diamond's whole band with a different lead singer. And I have to say, for older guys jamming metal, it sounds pretty good, man. It's called Lex Legion,
I'll
and
have to
yeah. I was going to request some on the show Wednesday, but I didn't want to. I didn't want to hit you with too much.
Ken wants to know, what do you guys think of the new Metal Church album? That new singer sounds kind of like David Wayne from the first album.
Yeah, I will agree. Now I like it because Dave Ellefson is on it. The little Dave from Megadeth. And my first instinct was it sounded like what was that first those first Metal Church albums? In the Dark. I think that one had David Wayne on it. If I'm not mistaken. Well, yeah, I think it's pretty good. But I have to say, I was a huge Mike Howe fan. I loved Mike Howe's voice. Blessing in Disguise, Human Factor. He did another one with Metal Church about 5-10 years ago. And Mike Howe sadly took his own life because of some health problems and, problems with our healthcare system, and he couldn't get treated properly. And it was a damn shame. But I respect that Metal Church is still going and still cranking out good music. So I'm down with it.
Well, I haven't heard this album yet, Dead to Rights, but I noted whoever the singer is, his name is Brian Allen, but his name's not clickable, so he must be a newcomer.
I think he was in like kind of an unknown, not unknown band, but like a band that was kind of obscure. Like they only had 1 or 2 albums and they picked him up, but he's definitely like a heavy metal dude. You know what I'm saying? It's the new stuff is very, very metal, very heavy. And like I said, Dave Ellefson's in it. So I want to give it a listen. If it came up for sale on vinyl, I would probably buy it for sure.
I'll have to check it out. I didn't know it came out. It came out on the 10th. So it's been out for like 13 days. I wasn't aware of it. The last album they did that I remember was the one from 2018, Damned If You Do. I don't even think I've heard anything from Congregation of Annihilation now that I think about it.
I think Damned If You Do. I think that one had Mike Howe on it.
Okay.
I think that was the last one with Mike Howe. And the album was incredible, man. It was awesome. It was a really good record, man. The Congregation one, I don't really know. I don't know what you're talking about on that one. That one's not ringing any bells.
Man, I can't. Yeah, it was from May 26th of 2023. The only album to feature vocalist Mark Lopez or Lopes.
Yeah, I don't know about that guy. Yeah, I mean, well, he had some big shoes to fill. I don't think at that time in 2023, people were really willing to let go of Mike Howe. Now, they did put out a live record, which I believe it was called like The Last Congregation. And that was one of the last shows with Mike Howe. And that was pretty incredible.
Then the FAFO song I had to have heard because I do listen to a show when I get it from the folder, and so I have heard that one song then, but it's not registering in my head.
Right. Yeah, it's definitely good to check out, man. I didn't realize the whole thing was out either. I had just heard the main single, and that's pretty much all I had heard from it. So
I'm still in shock that they guest spotted on that Sir Mix-a-Lot album and did Iron Man because that was Sir Mix-a-Lot's first album that they did Iron Man on. I'm surprised they
wow, dude, I'm gonna have to download that. I'm gonna have to stream that. I don't think I've ever heard that.
See, the Fuck Around song, they actually released it in November of last year. It says here, released in November of 2025. Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I'm surprised that the whole album just came out. Because that's their new single has been out for a long time. It's at least 6 months, Phil.
So I know I've heard it if he's played it, but it's not clicking in my head. The moment I listen to it, I'll be like, "Fucking yeah, I've heard this song." But You know how my brain is like mush these days. I had to. It was embarrassing as fuck today, but I had to cut the grass, and I was in the bedroom, and I put my shoes on, and I couldn't remember how to tie my shoes. I had to walk out. I had to walk outside because my wife was sitting outside waiting on me, and I had to ask her. I said I can't figure out how to tie my shoes, so she had to give me a little assistance there. So
It's
sometimes,
just a brain fart, man.
so sometimes the music, I'll remember it. So it'll eventually, like I said, I'll listen to it after the show's over, and I'll be like, yeah, that's the one. But yeah, you need to look. It's Sir Mix-a-Lot's album Swass. The name of the song is called Iron Man, and all the guitars and everything is Metal Church, and it's just
Right.
it's very weird that they it's very weird that because Sir Mix-a-Lot was new, it was his very first album. I'm
Yeah, that's
surprised.
what I was saying. I could see him doing something like that on his second or third album, but
Right.
just popping out the gate, that's kind of a weird deal.
Because it was 1980. It was 1988. I mean, yeah, Metal Church only had 2 albums at this point, Metal Church in the Dark, but it's still like,
When
why,
did Blessing in Disguise come out?
89, the following year.
Okay, all right. See, that's where I came in. I had the Dark, but for some reason the Dark didn't grab me. You know what I'm saying? It just I didn't like it as much as some of the other stuff I was into. But when I got Blessing in Disguise, that was all over. Oh man, my back hurts, dude. My back hurts.
Oh, don't try to sit up.
I almost called you Grant. I almost called you Junior again, man.
Who's Junior?
Junior's this guy that was my buddy for many years, and he died very young back in 2012. So he's been gone for 14 long years now. But for some reason, you remind me of him, and I often catch myself calling you Junior instead of Grandpa. It's a very strange thing. You don't look anything like him or anything, but
now he's asking who remembers back in '89 when Accept had a different singer for one album, Eat the Heat. I can't comment because that's the one and only album of theirs I don't think I've ever listened to.
that was right after Udo, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think I listened to it because I kind of wrote it off when Udo left. I kind of was like, I don't. But I remember when it came out, who did they get after that? Wolf was his name, or was Wolf the guitar player?
Hold on.
I know there was a Wolf dude in there.
Yeah, David Reese was Mark Tornillo. Mark Tornillo.
Right? And is he the guy that's with him now?
Let's see. Isn't Udo back? No.
No, dude, I don't think that'll ever happen.
Right now, it's Mark Tornillo is the lead vocalist now.
Yeah, I think Mark Tornillo, he's been in there a long time. It's
Yeah.
so yeah,
Okay.
Wolf must be the guitar player.
Let's see. Here we go. Former. Udo did vocals. And then David Reese. Michael White, it says here, was lead vocals in 87. Rob Armitage from 87 to 88. David Reese. Okay, those other 2 guys that I mentioned that sang with them didn't do any albums with them.
Right,
So,
they were just touring.
David Reese did
Well,
Eat the
I
Heat.
didn't know that. I just threw that out there, but
So yeah, David Reese, they've only had 3 singers. So it was Udo.
that's what I always thought. Like they only had 3 dudes, and actually, Ken brings up a good question. I didn't even know about the second guy. I thought they just went from Udo right to the new guy. It's kind of like remember when Loudness got an American guy to sing? and it was totally weird. I couldn't do it. I went out and bought the album right away, and I was like, huh? The hell is this? But yeah, that didn't last for very long.
No. Yeah, I'm looking at the timeline. Yeah, it was Udo and then Michael White and that Rob Armitage, but those two dudes must have just filled in for live shows or were working with them before the album came out, and then David Reese showed up, and that's when the album came out. And then Udo came back. Then there was a gap from 96 to 2000 something where they didn't do nothing. Then they did something with Udo, and then after that, that's when Mark Tamillo came in, and yeah, he's been with them ever since.
Udo did come back. I thought he didn't like those guys.
You know, if Udo didn't like those guys, but he came back, I appreciate that because, you know, sometime, look, you are famous because of your fans. I'm not saying you're not talent. You know, you can have all the talent in the world, but if no one's listening to you or watching you, you're nothing. Like how me and you are. You know, no one's watching us, so we're nothing.
Right.
Well, but when you're famous,
they should be watching. Damn it.
But when you're famous, you're up on that high echelon where you've made millions of dollars and you've got fans, and you owe it to your fans, and that's why I get mad at like Skid Row. Like, dude,
Skid Row is the prime example. It's all because of Rachel Bolan too, man.
Do you agree with me? You've never commented with me yet when I played that Rachel Bolan song like 3 weeks ago, and I said it sounds like a Ramones song, and you never.
Yeah, he's been trying to. Rachel Bolan had like a solo album for a while, and I can't remember what the name of the band was. It was like not the Neurotic Outsiders, but like something like that. But yeah, he had a band, and it was totally a Ramones wannabe, you know, punk rock kind of thing or whatever. But yeah, I heard that he hated Sebastian because of that Rolling Stone cover he was on.
Yeah.
That, you know, the band didn't get to be on Rolling Stone, and so they pretty much hated Sebastian Bach after that. You know, and you know, Rachel Bolan never got over it. And can you imagine being on a tour bus with Sebastian Bach for a month on end, 2 months on end? You know, I love Sebastian Bach, don't get me wrong. But man, dude, you know, a couple days with that dude, I'd be like, shut up, man.
Have you seen that picture of Sebastian floating around the internet now, and everybody's hating on him? Saying, well, are you a fan of Skid Row? Are you a fan of Sebastian Bach? It's it's a picture of Sebastian Bach in a t-shirt from back in the 80s. And it has that rip-off shirt where instead of saying Raid kills bugs dead.
That's so old news, though.
It says AIDS kills fags dead. I have seen it like 20 times this week on all the metal groups, and everybody hating on him for that shirt. And it's like, dude,
that's like fucking 35 years old, man. That was controversy 35 years ago. He said he's sorry numerous times, you know, for that shirt, dude. I can't believe it's still a thing, but
yeah, people are pissed.
Yeah, you can't say nothing about them quarters, man.
Just really think about it. You know, think about it for 1 minute. We live in a society where you're punished for something you said like over 20 years ago.
Right, dude. I hope that shit never happens to me because I've said a lot of dumb shit.
Because when we're young,
take a clip or something, you know.
Well, when we're young, we're stupid.
Right.
You better believe I said a bazillion things as a kid that was dumb as fuck. I didn't know any better. You know.
And back then, let's get real here. Back then, we were all like, dude, I want that shirt, man. Yeah. So I thought it was a little bit insensitive, but it was funny at the time. Because, man, you remember MOD? You know, Anal inflicted death sentence. AIDS. Anal inflicted death sentence.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, there was a lot worse than Sebastian's shirt out there back then.
Right. And I'm sure throughout time, I bet you my freaking grandparents, may they rest in peace, probably said dumb shit, in 1940s when they were young because they didn't know any better.
Right?
But
Well, that was the culture back then,
you learn from your mistakes. As time goes on, you learn, oh man, I shouldn't have said that. But
And I'd say a lot of dumb shit, man.
but you shouldn't be punished for it. Now, if somebody created a new line of shirts now that said AIDS kills fags dead, we know better. Shame on you. But what the
Yeah,
fuck did we?
now it's not funny now.
No, but
And
at
it
the same,
wasn't funny. It wasn't, it was kind of an insensitive joke back then. It was chuckle. I won't say that I wanted the shirt, but it did make me chuckle at the time. You know what I'm saying?
but if you think about it, it also shows that as humans, we always have a dark side to us. There's always something going on in the world that we question, we think is weird, and we move on. Like 50 years from now, everybody might be a furry, and we'll look back on the time when we made fun of them, and we'll be like, "Oh, well, we didn't know any better. Shame on us." Because it could be the thing one day. We don't know what the Gen Z and the Generation Alpha and them are going to do. They may think that furries are the coolest thing in the world, and it may become the status quo.
Well, let's hope not, man. Let's hope that the furry thing doesn't take over humanity, man.
Like
I don't know, man. I don't know, dude. If I was more able-bodied, I'd probably do it. You know what I'm saying?
No,
I'd probably get
no.
freaky,
No, I am not going to throw on a suit, go to a hotel, have a threesome with two other people in a suit, sweating my balls off. I'll have a stroke in that damn thing. I don't know how they do it.
Yeah.
I don't know. And
there's I think some of the heads got little fans in them now. But you're still wearing a fur suit, though,
And the stench that must come out of that suit.
It's got some good stink.
No.
Then when you add some of the natural stank in there, it's probably. Yeah, I guess so. I guess that's maybe a one-time deal then.
Yeah, not this guy. No, sir, not this guy.
Yeah.
So.
Only word I could think of is soggy.
Soggy biscuits.
Grandpa, I think the TV is listening again, man.
Your TV?
Yeah, because we've been sitting here discussing something for a while, right?
Yep.
And so far, since we've been discussing shit, Rowdy Roddy Piper and Sid Haig has popped on my TV. They're watching, man. Somebody's watching.
They do.
And it's
like I said last night, every single device that you have that's got a microphone is always listening. They claim it's not recording until you use the wake up word, but it's always listening. So your little Alexa over there, she's always listening to you.
No, she doesn't. She doesn't love me like I think she does, man.
And now she's got that new AI voice, and she can be.
Yeah, well, it sucks. I can't get that because I was stupid, and I have two separate Amazon accounts, right? So my one account that I have Prime on, I have my Alexas aren't hooked up to that account. So I have to get a whole nother Prime account to get the special voice, or I have to transfer all three of my devices over to my primary account. And I'm just too technically challenged to do that. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm kind of worried about getting it hooked up again. Sorry about me wincing and everything, but
because my wife lost her shit the other day because I said something and then Alexa started talking back to me and I said something snarky to her and she was snarky right back. And
Yeah, dude,
my wife
I
thought it was
love the new
hilarious.
AI. I sat there and had a whole conversation with it. I was like, "Hey, are you conscious? Do you know what conscious is?" And she had this big philo- uh, philosophical, couldn't say it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you said it once.
Conversation with me about the nature of being conscious and what it means and how she thinks she is, but she doesn't know for sure. And she's like, "Do you know if you are or not?" And I'm like, "Man, this is blowing my mind, man." I having a conversation like this with a robot, it's I didn't think
She's
the robots would be like this.
she's not a robot. She's artificial intelligence. She's
Right,
not a
yeah.
robot.
But you know what I mean. She's an AI brain. But they take everything from humans and learn our behaviors and everything. So like Rob Zombie said, they're more human than human, man.
Hmm.
They're gonna be replicants. AI replicants, man.
So I got a question for you
All
because
right.
I've been curious. Now, I'm a fan of things. And when I like something, I like it. Like in the next room, I have the entire discography of Kid Rock because I've always, well, not the entire, just his 90s and early 2000s stuff.
Right.
I've always been a fan of his. And even when he was writing all his, went political and did all his Let's Go Brandon music and all that, I was like, oh, this sounds good. I don't agree with it, but it sounds good. But I've been a fan. And I know I look at you sometimes and you say things. How is it hard to stop liking something because of somebody like I'm pretty sure you didn't always dislike George Takei.
Yeah, because I always loved Star Trek, man. And
I mean, is it
I,
hard to start?
let's be real. I don't. If it came down to it, if I met George Takei, I would probably still fanboy on him because I did grow up with Sulu and I like Sulu. For me, hating on George Takei is it's like more fun. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's more of a fun thing. Like, if Takei was dying in a fire, yeah, dude, I would try to save him. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not a fan of his politics anymore, like just how kind of hypocritical he is. But as far as that, I usually I usually still can like something and be a fan, even though I don't 100% agree with them and like them. I'm trying to think of some examples where I clearly don't anymore. Well, you take Roger Waters, for instance. Like Roger Waters, am I still a fan? I mean, yeah, he's Roger Waters. But can I stand the guy? No, dude, I can't stand Roger Waters. He's such a fucking prick.
Well, see, I can't stand him either, but I still I still like him. Like
Yeah, it's the old Gene Simmons syndrome. Well, no, I am not going to put Gene Simmons in the same category as Roger Waters. Gene Simmons is a lovable asshole. Like, I wouldn't want Gene Simmons any other way, because you hate him because he's a prick, but you still love him because he's a prick. But Roger Waters is something else entirely. Roger Waters is like somebody that you'd be like, just shut the fuck up. But would I pay my mortgage to go see him? Fuck yeah. I would. I'd pay a couple $100 to go see Roger Waters. I'd be bitching about him, but I'd still go see it.
see, that's like me.
Unless it was that Dark Side of the Moon crap. If
Where
it
he
was,
thinks
if
he,
it,
where he thought he was Tom Waits.
yeah, dude, we don't. Yeah, we don't need none of that shit. So that had to be some of the worst stuff I've ever heard.
It's
That's
like,
kind of what I thought about Wichita Lineman last night too.
I'm never
Is that
playing. No, that would. I don't know what those guys were on drugs, and they're clean. That's the sad part. Flea
right?
probably hasn't touched a drug in decades, but he was high as fuck when he did that shit.
Yeah, dude. And I'm not a big Nick Cave fan. You know, I mean, I get it. I know why people love him, and there's definitely like a couple good Nick Cave songs, but I don't like him enough to, buy anything from him. Just I never was a huge fan. And I just, like you said last night, I think he just overdid it so much on the song that it's not a song that needed to be overdone and oversang. It was a song that the feeling and the loneliness came from it being simple and being a simple song about being lonely. And, Glenn Campbell is hard to beat, dude. Hard to emulate, hard to beat. I streamed a bunch of Glenn Campbell today.
Glenn Campbell fucking rocks.
Right. I can't believe he had one of the biggest mansions in Laurel Canyon during the whole, the hippie heyday. So he was down there doing drugs with all the hippies back in the day. So he's been cool his whole life.
But it's like I don't like Stephen King. I don't agree with everything he says.
That's a good example. That's a good example.
I don't agree with everything Mick Foley says, but I think he's a freaking great fucking wrestler.
Yeah, but he's awesome. You still love Mick Foley, man.
And I'm not just
a great example. Like sometimes I'm just like Steven, shut the fuck up, dude. just shut up. But I love Stephen King's stories, his books, the whole bit. I cannot bring myself to hate the man. Mark Hamill's another one. Do I think Mark Hamill kind of went douchey on us? Yeah, for sure. But now I don't think he's that douchey with the way things are going now, actually.
Well, you've been changing your tune, but
Yeah, and I don't want to piss people off because I got a lot of friends that are definitely not on the left side, the Democrat side, and I'm not jumping ship and going over to that side, but I can't. I know we're not getting political and everything. I just can't. I can't support this war in Iran and dancing for Israel. I just can't. It's always been the deal breaker for me. Always. And the one thing I said, dude, if we do something stupid like that, I'm out, and no matter who is president, because it's just a completely dumb fucking move. Dumb move, man. But yeah, let's get off that.
I just put up there. Remember, Murr is not suicidal, but
right.
I guess that don't matter anymore because our boy, killed himself, and he had just talked about how he wasn't suicidal in his podcast.
Right, dude.
So obviously, telling people you're not suicidal is pointless these days.
Yeah, I went on this rant saying that he didn't do it. He didn't kill himself. And then they released the 9/11 tapes today. And I was like, God damn it. You know what I mean? Like, but I really fucking like David Wilcock.
But were you there?
I really liked David Wilcock. I know you got a firsthand account. You saw everything I went through. But I would listen to David Wilcock for hours. Like every one of his podcasts, I would listen to it and, listen to it a couple times. I really liked all of his research. But at the end of the day, dude was a schizophrenic. If you go on Google and look him up, it says that he was diagnosed with schizophrenia. Um, so the guy was a genius beyond measure. He was a genius, but he was troubled. So I don't know though. Some people are still saying it's fake. Some people are saying that the 911 calls are AI because all these different scientists that are disappearing.
Mm-hmm.
They're talking about the government using targeted technology, that like voice to skull technology or something it's called, where they could beam shit right into your brain, and that he was a target because he's been saying some pretty crazy shit for years.
Well,
But
the only out of the ancient alien people here recently that died that I haven't found suspicious was Nick Pope, because he told people he was sick,
right,
and Eric Von Daniken was fucking old. I mean,
yeah,
I'm not trying
Donovan
to,
was old.
right, I'm not trying to be cold, but when you reach them 80s, you could go any moment.
Yeah, your
So
time was up.
So those aren't suspicious, but what do you think about his biographer dying 2 days before him?
Yeah, that was kind of weird, man. That was unusual. I'll be right back. Get to look over here. But I think it was definitely a weird situation, man. Some ain't the math ain't mathing on that one.
No, I think I'm still on the fence. I haven't made a complete. Uh, I've always felt he was a little off. Watching the old episodes of Ancient Aliens, he seemed to be a little off. Not in what he's
Yeah, there's
not,
no doubt. There's
and
no
I've
doubt that he was off.
right, and I've seen him do interviews with other podcasters, and I don't I don't agree with. I love Ancient Aliens, and like I said, I really believe a lot of the things they say, and would like for them to be true because it's fucking cool. But I don't believe everything.
Yeah, that's where I'm at with Ancient Aliens too. Like some of the stuff, I'm like, oh, hey, well, that's very strange. That could very well be true. Other stuff, I'm like, man, you're discounting thousands of years of time that could have been spent making this stuff, and
right. Like I
it,
don't like if I went. I own all the episodes from season 1 until season, I do believe, I think 8 or 9. The reason I stopped buying them was because every season after that, they were just rehashing the same things
yeah,
over and
dude,
over
I
again.
couldn't stand it. I was just going to say the same thing. I would watch it religiously, and I saw every episode, but then, like you said, toward the end, it was like, well, shit, they've covered this already.
Yeah,
This is like they've talked about this. So,
yeah.
it's
The episode would be Antarctica Revisited. Yeah, for the 4th time. So
right.
yeah,
Yeah, like
yeah.
okay, we're back at Puma Punku or whatever. Fucking,
It was
you've
like
only talked about this 10 times.
that's why I had to quit watching The Curse of Oak Hill, or not
Oh,
Oak Hill,
yeah, that
Oak
shit.
Island.
I was the same way. I was fascinated with that show, but it's like, man, it's just we're gonna watch this every night for a fucking whole season, and it's gonna be the same shit. Like, oh, we found a coin. There ain't
Yeah,
nothing on that
and
island.
and then I got into that new show, Skinwalker Ranch. They did the same thing. You get into it, you're excited, and then you're like, wait a minute, they're just doing the same. It's like,
Yeah, I never saw Skinwalker. I never saw that, but
the first
uh,
the first 3 seasons were pretty good, but after that, it was just the same old, same old. Look, there's a heat signature in the sky. Do you see it? No, but it's showing up on the FLIR camera. It ended up being the same thing over and over again after a while.
yeah, kind of like Ghost Hunters and Ghost Adventures and all. After
Uh,
a while, it was like, oh man, this is all bullshit.
But see, I can watch. Like I said, I can take myself out of that shit. I can watch ghost hunters or of those ghost related stuff on YouTube, and I can be like, this is fake as fuck. But dude, they're entertaining me. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
dude, I was very entertained during that time period when I called it the Ghost Wars. You know, when it was Ghost Adventures versus Taps. And I wonder what happened to those guys. You never hear anything about the Taps guys anymore.
Yeah, Jason's got his still has a YouTube. He's trying to buy the house, the Conjuring house. He's still he still has a show and everything. Taps. It's
Okay.
It's Jason and Grant did their own thing. So
Right.
Jason was doing a show and Grant was doing a show. Grant
Now,
stopped.
which one was the bald guy?
Jason.
Okay, all right. That makes sense. He
Yeah,
was. I always liked that guy.
Yeah, they're still doing stuff, and he still does he does YouTube videos and stuff. It's just it's hard for them to do anything anymore because everybody thinks I'm a believer of the supernatural.
Oh, me too, man.
So
He lived like right by the cemetery.
so it's hard. It's hard for them to create content, and people don't believe anything anymore. And now with AI, you really can't believe anything.
Yeah, that's the whole problem, man. With the world we live in, it's
Right.
the
And it's
suspension of disbelief is gone.
and like somebody did bring up, and as a conspiracy theorist type person, I will concede to this because it's true. Me and you grew up looking at cool pictures all the time. Even Time Life used to sell scary books that showed real life ghost photos, and we used to get a kick out of all that. Now everybody has a phone in their pocket 24/7, and we don't get any ghost pictures anymore. And even the ones that we do get with the weird creatures, they're doing this the whole time they're filming, and
Yeah.
they're like using a flip phone camera for some reason. Like, dude, we have the most high-tech phone cameras. Nothing should look like shit. And we get no good clear. And then when we do get clear UFOs or we get clear monster videos, the first thing my brain does is, well, it's got to be CGI.
Yeah, it's CGI or some AI slop.
Right. So it's like the days of being of fun stuff, and then you get the group of conspiracy theorists that just can never see the light. And I don't like those kind either. Like all those flat earthers went down to see the midnight sun in Antarctica, and a lot of them changed their tune. But then, certain ones think it's that we're still flat and it was all staged, and it's like some people you can't get through to. You just can't get through to.
Oh man, you just can't reach.
Yeah. That's when you get what
We had here last week, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it's yeah, I know what you mean, man.
Like some people don't think that they went to that Artemis was actually in space. Oh, that mark wasn't there when they first landed. Now all of a sudden NASA's, put it back in. It's like,
Yeah, I don't know what to believe on that. I'm kind of stuck where part of me believes it and another part of me doesn't. But like I said, you don't know what the truth is anymore. You can't trust anybody these days. You can't trust nothing, man.
no, you can't.
There's a lot of weird stuff surrounding that whole Artemis thing with, like some of the crew, they were actors in movies and shit, and it's strange, man.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, I found out yesterday that, a bunch of a bunch of some liberal group was paying a bunch of white supremacists to stay in business so they could keep collecting
Yeah,
money.
yeah, that's the big news. And I knew that kind of shit was happening because these people were getting a bunch of money to stop racism and stop this and that and kind of show that the white man was the most racist, aggressive people on the planet. And then you find out that these companies are actually paying some of these groups to stage events. So the money keeps rolling in, and so the narrative keeps going. And it's all a bunch of fucking shit. Like that whole what was it, Charleston or whatever, where the whole
The tiki
blood and
tour,
soil.
the tiki guys they were
Yeah,
wearing the.
dude, I have thought that was fake as fuck since the moment it happened. Since the moment it happened, I'm like, that is staged. It's they bust those people in there. These goons like that just aren't around anymore, man.
But see,
I thought,
I think it goes both ways. For example, I'm a huge you know this, and most of the people that listen to me know I'm a huge supporter of the Second Amendment.
yeah, yeah,
But there's groups like Gun Owners of America, which I used to be a member of, but I didn't renew my membership for this reason. When Trump was running for office, they sent flyers. These are all the 2A supporting politicians that you should vote for this year. Every single one of those people, almost like 90% of the people in those flyers that they told us to vote for, they now bitch about all the time. Oh, I can't believe Pam Bondi did this when she was still there. I can't believe they're not protecting. It's like, dude. So I think they're the same way. I think these groups get our money to
right.
help fight, to go to court to fight for our 2A rights. But I think they use some of their money to pay for lobbyists who are anti-gun to help keep politicians going. Because if politicians tomorrow said, you know what, the 2A, no laws can go against it, end of story. If there's ever another law gone against the 2A, we'll arrest you, blah, blah, blah. Never again. You can carry a gun and never go to jail. What would all these groups do? So
Yeah,
they've
I
got
mean, there'd
to,
be no need for stuff like the NRA and
right. And they don't
you
want to
know
go, they have pools and yachts to pay for.
they don't want the gravy train to dry up.
So I don't
That's
think,
for all of these fucks, man.
so I don't
Like,
think it's just liberals who do
no,
sneaky shit.
yeah,
They all
it's
do sneaky shit.
Republicans. They're all greasing the wheel. It's all a fucking big charade, man. Like, it's just like you watch now, all these Democrats are saying they're not going to vote for any more arms for Israel, and they're voting against Israel because that's like the popular thing to do. You watch right after the midterms, these guys are going to be right back on the old Israeli penis. You know what I'm saying? It's all a crock of shit. They're all liars, man. They're all on the same team. They just want to make it seem like there's opposition and it flip flops. For 8 years, one team takes over and the other guys are the good guys fighting against the evil regime. Then the good guys get their chance. Then the good guys become the bad guys and the other team is the resistance. It's fucking bullshit. It's like Monday Night Football, but with our government, man. It's just
That's why I said, man, I want to be a free man. I want to live life the way I want to live it. I want to do things
me too, man.
that make me happy. I want to be taxed a little less.
Yeah.
And fucking that's what I want to do. And then fucking, you know,
Excuse
and then
me.
and I don't care what my neighbors do. I don't care what the people across the street do. As long as whatever's going on in the world doesn't cross my threshold, do what makes you happy.
Yeah, I'm pretty much the same way.
like watching all the kids hang out, like when the kids cruise up and down Milton Avenue. I don't care. Let them be kids. They'll learn. Let them be kids.
And hell,
Right?
man, we had the circuit in our day.
Right.
which was a hell of a lot worse than Milton Avenue is.
Right. So I don't,
I'll tell you that.
I just don't understand why, we can't be free. Why we
Because
gotta,
they don't want us to be. We always have to have some kind of enemy or something. Some kind of bullshit going on.
like,
Some kind of crazy
I,
bullshit.
I saw today, or no, my son brought this up to me the other day. A lot of, the people who make RAM for computers,
Right?
they're thinking about no longer selling RAM to the public. Which means if your computer, like say your RAM chips went bad, you can't just run to the store and replace them. You're going to have to go to a repair shop and get them fixed, or you're not going to even be able to do that. You may just have to buy a new computer. And it's like the world is getting shitty like that. And I told my son flat out, I said, I'm glad I'm old. Because I'm not going to be, hopefully I'll be dead and gone before the decline of the Western civilization hits.
Yeah, it's sad to say. I mean, I wish I had a wife and kids and everything, but I'm in the same boat. I'm like, when I was younger, I wanted to live forever and be famous and everything. And now I, I don't see a place for me in the world the way it's going. You know what I mean? Like everything that I loved and hold dear, this new generation hurts you, dude. Hurts you. Man, I'm having some kind of an attack over here, man. But yeah, it's just nothing. It's not the world that I grew up in anymore. And I don't
No.
know if that's because I'm old or if it just sucks now. And I
Well,
don't, something's got to give.
like, I know it was hard on my grandparents to see my boomer parents the way they did things. They didn't like my grandfather was always nitpicking my dad and the way he was raising me. So every generation is going to nitpick the one next. It's just the way it's the
Yeah,
natural order of
it's the
things.
lifespan.
But
It's
I'm
just,
but I'm wondering if I find if my life is more miserable than my grandparents was. Like, because my grandfather would still come home. He still had cool stuff to watch on TV. He would watch Murder, She Wrote and Diagnosis Murder and Matlock. And, we still had, good family times. We'd go out to the restaurants and eat. It's like he may not have agreed with a lot of the music and some of the stuff that was going on in the world, but he still, hung out with his family and could afford life. We can't
right.
afford life anymore.
Nah,
Like if I wanted to take my family out to dinner, it'd probably cost like $120 because
well, I was going to say even more than that.
because
It's
there's
getting to the
five of
point
us.
where me and my dad, just me and him go out to eat, and it's 50, $60 at this point.
Right.
And it's ridiculous. Man, in our day, man, I remember, like fucking Taco Bell and McDonald's, you could have $5 and have a full fucking meal and then some left over for when
Right.
you woke up the next day, man. It
Right.
was ridiculous.
And
Like,
I'm not one to begrudge somebody to make money. Like, okay, I know things are eventually going to go up in price and production cost. I get all that. But when you look at the big picture of things and you look and you see that a Snickers bar costs more now than it did in the 90s, but that same Snickers bar that they make now is like 25% smaller than
smaller,
it used
yeah.
to be.
And the ingredients are fucking cheaper, dude. And they're like, I mean cheaper in the sense of they're not as good quality,
Right.
as they were back then. It's
So
fucking ridiculous, man. The
right.
whole world is ridiculous.
So that's what I'm saying. My grandparents may have complained about the world, but they could at least afford to still live in it.
Right, right.
Like what did I eat for dinner last night? I had 2 packs of ramen noodles, dude. Two
Really?
packs. Yeah, 2 packs. A pack of pork and a pack of roast beef. And that was it. What did I have for lunch today? I had 2 peanut butter sandwiches. I don't, you know.
I had something good today, man. I had two brat patties, man.
Yeah, but your nurse came today. She probably made them for you.
Yeah, she did. If she wasn't here, it'd be ramen noodles for me too, man.
But it's
Ramen
like,
noodles and ham sandwiches, dude.
but it's like, you know, are we poor? Well, I mean, I guess we could. I guess we are, but it's not. We're not poor. You know, we're not on food stamps or any kind of government assistance. But
I'm on
it,
food stamps.
but it's like, but
I only
it's
get
like,
25 a month.
but it's like, you know, my wife, we barely can afford for her to make a meal 3 times a week. You know,
Right.
like sometimes when she's home, we just have cold cut sandwiches because
Right,
it's
right.
expensive. You know, like and beef was has gone up in price. It seems now it's cheaper to eat chicken.
Yeah, for sure, man. I was gonna say, for a while there, beef was like $5.50 a pound, and now it's almost $8.
Right.
And I guess that's good. I mean, other places, probably out in California, it's a lot more than that, but
Well, I
it's a
feel
lot
bad
of.
for I feel bad for the people on in California and Hawaii and all that. That's nice place to be, but woo.
But damn expensive, man. Damn expensive to live out there.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Hell, it's just look at us. It's night and day between us and the guys in Illinois, and we're separated 30 miles south of us, and we're in Illinois. And it's like people in Illinois are driving across the border to get gas because it's so expensive.
I can't believe Janesville has gotten so expensive. There's nothing here. There's no like major manufacturing here. There is a little bit, I guess, but it's not like it was in the 90s and early 80s where we had GM and like 5 different GM suppliers, and you could like leave one job and have a new job the next afternoon. And I couldn't believe it, man. My first apartment was $375 a month. And now that same apartment is literally $900. Now, granted, that was 30 years ago, but $900, my God, for the apartment I had, ridiculous, man.
My son lives in an apartment, 2 bedrooms, $1,700 a month.
1,700. Who the fuck can afford that? That would be my entire check for the entire month. Like I'd have enough for rent, and I got a 2-bedroom house, man, and I don't even want to say what I'm paying on, but I got lucky, dude. I've been here for 22 years, so I earned my spot.
Well, because of property taxes.
Yeah,
and because
bullshit.
of fucking property taxes and homeowners insurance going up, ours has finally crossed the $1,000 a month threshold.
Yeah, fuck the insurance, man. I told you I fucking filed my first complaint, my first claim in 20 some years, and it got denied in less than a minute.
Because it was flooded. They don't do flood.
Well, all right, what is the point? What is the point, man?
Now, if a pipe busts, that they'll cover.
Yeah.
But you couldn't lie to them because they knew the area was flooded. You couldn't be like,
there's no way I could get through it.
But if you don't get homeowners insurance on your own, your finance company will, and the insurance they'll supply you is going to be like 10 times more.
Right.
So it's like you're screwed either way. So I don't know, but yeah, ours finally. I'm not going to say how much either, but it's fine. We are paying now over $1,000. Still cheaper than rent, way cheaper than rent, but
right.
And
my shit went up in April.
And my grandson's school down here is closed for the rest of the year, Washington, because of the flood damage.
Where is Washington?
Right down there it's at the corner of at the red light.
That's the one that flooded?
Yeah, that's Washington, the one at the red light, at Mineral Point and Oak Hill.
Wow. Okay. Geez, because somebody told me it was the one down by Monterey Park, and I'm like, that doesn't sound right because that is up on a hill.
No, it's the one right here by us. You
Wow.
probably it's so close you could go get on your scooter and go down to the corner.
Yeah, go check it out. Yeah.
But it's flooded.
Did you see me cruising around yesterday?
Nuh-uh.
Okay, I didn't flip you off this time.
But my grandson is gonna finish the school year. They're moving all those kids to Adams. Adams is across the bridge. Adams is where Milton and Mineral Point. You know when you take Milton Avenue or Mineral Point, go over the bridge. Then when you get to
Oh yeah, and you go up by the fairgrounds up there. Yeah.
yeah, Adams is over by the fairgrounds. So my grandson's going to go there for the rest of the year, but he's got to go to a special school next year for autistic children, so he won't be going to the public school again.
Right.
But my whole thing is now they're going to say that school is going to need to be rebuilt and repaired. They're going to want to raise our taxes. And it's like, why don't they just sell the fucking school and tear it down and sell the property? Because that school, if it's that wet and that old with that much mold, it's probably a total loss.
Right. Well, you saw the pictures, right?
Yeah. There's mud everywhere.
Terrible,
yeah.
Man. I thank God that we didn't get hit like that. Because man, if we would have got hit like that, I would have been totally screwed, man.
If it had rained another couple of hours, we might have had problems because just a block away at Mole, it was flooded.
Right.
So that could have built up to us. Because at our corner here at Purvis and Oak Hill, there's sewage there that could have started backing up, and then we could have been flooded. You could have had water pouring in your basement windows. So yeah,
any idea how I would have got it out of here, man.
And it's supposed to rain. We're supposed to get 2 inches of rain over next couple days.
Yeah, that's great, man. I got fans going down there, and it finally dried out down there. And I was going to have the people come and grab my couches today, the couches and bookshelves down, but I canceled, and I'm having them come next week because I was like, well, I kind of want somebody to kind of arrange my collectibles down there a little bit before I have people down there gutting shit out and I can't be down there. So I got a buddy that's going to come and, move my mask vehicles and stuff. And
okay,
afraid of they'd grab one of those bookshelves and think that I just wanted the mask vehicles thrown away too. And
yeah, you got to clear it out so they just throw away what you want thrown away. Yeah.
Yeah, so they can do it quick and get out of there. So, but it's not.
That one video you posted that you shared, or that your friend had, his hot water heater was floating around. There was so much water in his.
Yeah, it's fucking nuts, dude. Just nuts, man. I couldn't believe what I was seeing. So I quit complaining. I'm like, yeah.
Yeah, you thought you had it bad.
My shit ain't nothing compared to these guys. So,
and those poor people were trapped at the church over there at Randall and Milwaukee.
Yeah, Lutheran over there. Yeah. That's sad because that church that got hit, that was one of the good ones. They did a fantastic food bank for the poor folks. I'm not going to say poor folks, but like people that are down on their luck and
right,
people that needed help. They had a really good selection of stuff and just did a lot for the community. And they had like drug and alcohol programs and just tons of stuff to help people. And to get hit as hard as they did, it just makes you wonder if there is actually a God out there that would do that. But unfortunately, he works in mysterious ways, I guess.
Well, I was talking to Harvey when he came over and brought you. Did you like that soup, by the way? I thought it was disgusting.
Oh, you didn't like it, dude?
No, I thought the beer taste was too strong.
The what? The chorizo taste?
Yeah, the beer. I thought the Pabst beer flavor was too strong.
Oh, I loved it. I thought it was great. I thought the chorizo was a little bit strong in the soup. But for those that don't know what I'm talking about is it's the Pabst Blue Ribbon beer, cheese, potato, and chorizo soup. I thought it was fantastic. I really liked it.
But
Yeah,
when
then he brought me some uh, Sour Patch Kids and everything.
I
I think
still
he's
got to,
doing it. Go ahead.
I still got to bring you those fucking jelly beans from KFC.
Yeah, dude, I was hoping you still had them.
No, I
I didn't
haven't
want to
touched
be
them.
all like, I didn't want to be all bugging you like, hey man,
I haven't
when are you
touched
gonna
them.
hook me up with those KFCs, man?
I haven't touched them because they're gross. So don't got to worry about that. But my whole thing is, we were talking because I saw him when I was bringing out my trash, and we were like, global warming. I said, I'm not a big believer in global warming like most people are. I believe the sun goes through phases, and depending on what the sun does, it's either going to be extremely cold here or extremely hot here. But one thing I do believe in is fucking cloud seeding. And I swear
Oh
to
yeah,
you,
they're doing that for sure, man.
and
They're doing that to Nam.
and as much as cloud seeding was a good idea, how many times in history has something been good for us, or our intentions were good and then it ended up being used for bad?
Right,
Cloud seeding's intentions were good, but then Murray's got a flood in his basement. Not so good.
right,
I
yeah,
think
not real good.
I think all this raining is because of cloud seeding. Because look, the last 2 summers, our grass has fallen apart and died because all of July and August, we never got an ounce of rain.
Any rain, yeah.
And
Hey man,
now
I gotta get up and go pee, dude. Like I don't know if uh you want to just go solo or how you want to do it.
I'll go solo. I'll lower you while you're gone.
Oh
I'll
yeah,
bring you
lower me
down.
out. I'll be back.
All right. All right. Well, when he comes back, we will keep discussing. What I was gonna say was, like I said, we had the end of our summers were like droughts here. Your grass was dying. It was brown. It was just bad. We didn't get any rain. And then look at this year. We got like 50 inches of snow for the entire season or something like that. Way more than our normal. We flooded last week, tornadoes, this, that, and the other. It's been bad. And I just think it's, cloud seeding gone bad, if that's how you want to word it. But yeah, I'm not a global warming guy. I guess my scientific brain wants to think, I know how the sun works with sunspots, and it goes through cycles where it builds up, builds up, builds up, and it's more powerful and powerful. And, well, okay, I don't want to say powerful, but it warms up, more sunspots form, and then it ejects all that shit, and then it goes through a mild stage, and then it starts over. I think it was like every 7 years or 5 years or something, the sun goes through a cycle. Anyway, that's what I think. So, and I'm not going to sit here and say, oh, well, all the exhaust and all the people, we do affect the climate. There are things that we do that affect it, but I think at the end of the day, we're such a small portion of it, you know, that it's not all just us. It's also the universe at play. But then again, I could be totally wrong and don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. It can go either way. It can go either way. I have no problem admitting to anybody that I could be fucking wrong. Because there's a lot of people out there who are like, I'm right. I know I'm right. End of story. And everybody else can fuck off. No, I'm not like that. If I'm wrong, I'm fucking wrong. But, I just think we play a smaller part I just think we play a smaller part in affecting our climate than uh than some people would like for us to believe. But like I said, that's just me. That's just me. But as soon as Murr comes back, we'll probably wrap it up. wrap it up. But yeah, so just waiting for him to come back. Trying to think of something I could. Oh, there he is. There he is.
Me breath.
There he is.
Got to catch me breath.
It's a long walk, man.
Don't rub it in, man. I'm just out of shape. Yeah, dude, cloud seeding, man. Chemtrails, cloud seeding, all that shit's bullshit.
I mean, I know why they do it. You know, when areas get drought stricken, you can't grow corn, you can't grow this, can't grow that. I get it, but if they, you know, I think they just did it too much. I think they did it too much. You go 2 years with no rain. I was looking at a chart. That's the other thing I was telling Harvey. Out of all the areas around us, that one storm, Janesville got 10 inches of rain.
Right.
Everybody outside of us were getting like 4 and 6 and 7, but this small little band that we were in got 10 inches of rain that night.
10 inches of rain all at once.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like,
that's ridiculous.
And now the whole town is in fear every time we see that it's going to rain. Like, I'm nervous about tonight. I'm not going to lie, dude. I don't think we can handle much more, you know?
Well, I'm getting ready to look, but I do believe it is well, it's supposed to start raining at 9:00, but we're supposed to have a thunderstorm at 2 a.m. Yeah, we're supposed to have a thunderstorm around 2 a.m.
I'll probably have to crack my window. I got the air going on over here. And I wonder if that's why I'm a little bit congested. Like, you know, I got all that stuff in the basement drying out and the air is circulating and it's probably not real good for my health over here right now, but
well, no, you need to be careful because if the mold takes hold down there, you might be screwed.
Yeah, I got my one lady's going to come over and she's going to mop down there and treat it with bleach and Kills and all that stuff. Even though I told her I think Kills is just a paint. I don't think they have an actual like mold treatment, do they?
I don't think so, but I could be wrong.
Tell you guys, man, I got a quote. A guy came over here and gave me a quote on what it would cost to like get this stuff out of the basement, treat it, and do an air treatment down there. $30,000.
How much?
He said anywhere from $2,600 to $3,000. And since I'm disabled, he would try to keep the cost at the lower end. I'm like, $30,000. That's fucking ridiculous, dude. Like, you just got to take a couple couches out of there, a couple couches and a couple bookcases, dude, and literally mop the walls with. That's not a $3,000 job, man. But they know everybody's hurting. They know that everybody's desperate and everything. But that's insurance prices. That's the kind of prices. But it looks like I'm going to be able to get everything taken care of for around $200.
Yeah, see, that's the thing that upsets me. And it's the same with everything. It's like, okay, so like my wife, she had that heart attack, and her bill, all her bills in total were over $100,000.
Fucking crazy, man.
Now the insurance covered a lot of it, but we were still responsible for about $3,400. Well, we can't afford that, and I mean we could pay them $50 a month and be done with it, but they can't take that little amount every month. So we're trying to get help with her bill. So we've been sending in, I just printed all of our bank statements and I got a copy of our tax returns. They need all that to make a decision. Right. And it's like the insurance company paid you $100,000 something on my wife's behalf. You think you could just walk away from the other $3,000? You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to sound like a dick here, but because I'm disabled, I'm like, you're not going to get it from me anyway. So,
right.
so
But
fuck off. Yeah.
it's that's how it is. Now, I know hospitals, depending on your insurance, each insurance company negotiates for different prices. So not every my wife's heart attack might have cost her less if she had Medicare. It might have cost less if she had Humana. It depends on the negotiations. And that's the same way with you. Like you were talking. Oh, it's going to cost $3,000 to clear out your basement. But we would charge $5,000 to an insurance company because we know they can afford it. And it's
Just the profit shit.
And then when we're like when an area gets hail damage, they all come out of the woodwork. Need your roof looked at? Do you need your roof looked at? It's like if people only care about money. I know we need money and having money is nice, but some people that's their ultimate goal, and it's sad.
Right.
That you would be willing to rake somebody over the coals because you want to get yours. Like, there's no reason somebody couldn't do your basement for fucking $800. Yeah, I understand you got to pay to go dump that stuff, and you got to pay a guy and rent a truck or whatever. I know there's cost on your end, but I was in your basement. Like you said, it's just some bookcases and a couch and a chair. Hell, even if he said, I can do it for $1,100, that seems a little more reasonable than $3,000.
Right. That's what I said, dude. Like, it's going to take you maybe an hour and a half to do the air treatment and to treat and coat all the walls. And he's like, well, I have to rent a dumpster and do all this. Man, the junk company I got a hold of today said they'll haul everything out for $125.
Did you call Fish?
No, it was a Trash Masters or Junk Masters. Yeah, it's a place in town, a couple kids. And I said, fuck, that's a great price. I feel bad that I had to cancel on them, but when you get a strong gut feeling like that, you have to go with it. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah, they might have thrown shit away they might have cleared out the entire basement,
right, yeah, and there's no way I could stop them, I mean, there's no...
Right.
So,
you got to have someone go down there and prep your collectibles somewhere else and then let them come in and get rid of all that stuff.
Yeah, and that's what my buddy's going to do this weekend. It'll probably only take him 10 minutes to stage everything. And I want you to meet him, dude. Don, my buddy Don Tech.
Oh.
Yeah, he's a fucking great guy, man. He's just an awesome person. He's the guy that fixed my sunroom.
Oh, okay.
God, can you imagine if I wouldn't have got my sunroom fixed?
It would have flooded.
And it would have went in that room, and it would have flooded out all my records. And God, that would have been a $40,000 loss, and there's nothing I could do about it, man.
You're lucky he fixed the sunroom, and you're lucky you got your roof redone.
Yeah, no shit. If I wouldn't have, like you said, if I wouldn't have got that done, there probably would have been shit flowing right into the house, man.
Yeah, that couch that couch right next to you right there would have had to been thrown out. Water would have been all over it.
Poor Bubba, man. Yeah, I'm glad I got the good. Yeah.
Yeah, Bubba would have killed you.
I'm glad I got it done because I probably wouldn't have got it done till spring. So I'm glad my dad kind of got on me.
Yeah.
Because knowing me, I would have just kept buying fucking records and doing stupid shit, and I wouldn't have had the money to get it done, man. So,
well, those 180-gram records, man, you could put them on your roof. They'd stop some hail.
Yeah, probably, man. I'd be a little sad about it, but they would probably stop some hail.
But yeah, it's
just got countdown to extinction, man.
You did. Nice. Is that a reprint?
Oh, yes. This is a bootleg because for some reason Dave Mustaine started reissuing everything, except he didn't reissue Countdown to Extinction, Euthanasia, Cryptic Writings, and Risk.
I wonder why.
He released everything else but those 4 albums. So finally, Euthanasia and Countdown to Extinction are getting reissued in June or July. And I was going to wait and just get the reissue, but this bootleg came up. And usually they're fucking like $70. He only wanted 25. And I'm like, well, I'm not going to pass that up. And it sounds just as good. It sounds real good for a bootleg, man. Oh shit, my back. My butt crack.
But yeah, I got to get me some Megadeths too. But I wonder why. I wonder why he didn't remaster. Why he's holding back on some of them.
Yeah, we couldn't figure it out either, because we were like, man, Extinction was your most popular. It was your most successful album. You know, that'd be like Metallica issuing everything except the Black Album.
Right.
Which you still got to get the Black Album too, don't you?
Yeah.
That one was pricey. That one, I think I got it for a decent price used, but for some reason, there's like 20 different versions of it too. There's the 1 album, there's the 2 LP version, there's the OGs, there's 180 gram represses, there's the blackened label, there's a bunch of versions of that album out there, but you really only need one. So, but yeah, I was pretty happy to get that one. The only ones I need are Reload, and Saint Anger. Then I got them all. Then I got all.
Do you think, I said this to my wife, and I want your opinion. Now, look, like I said, I like Metallica, but it seems to me that the Black Album was the introduction to the world for pop metal.
Yeah, definitely radio metal, you know?
Like, well, they were the first to go full radio pop metal and open the door for the rest of them to do so.
Well, I don't know, because at the time we did have Def Leppard, Wingers, and you know, Poisons, and a lot of that stuff before the Black Album.
Yeah, but Metallica's the first true hardcore metal band.
Yeah, the first true metal, you know, pop metal. Because those other ones, you know, the hair metal stuff, that was more just like spicy hard rock.
Right.
You know, the Black Album was the first.
Because the Black Album was hard and heavy, but everything was a catchy tune.
It was hooky.
Yeah.
You know, see, that's why it's fucking strange, man. I love Bob Rock and I hate Bob Rock at the same time. He's a fucking awesome producer and can get some of the greatest drum sound ever recorded, right? Like, he's behind, you know, the big drum sound on, like, you know, Motley Crue's albums, and just Bob Rock's done a ton of stuff. But he is also responsible for Saint Anger. He's also responsible for neutering Metallica, but at the same time making Metallica sell 100 million albums or whatever they did. But that's another reason why I think Lars sabotaged Saint Anger's drums, because Bob Rock is known for his huge drum sound. Like, his shit, the way he produces drums, like, you know, you listen to the Black Album, the drums are fucking insane. You listen to Tommy Lee's drums, they're insane. Just a big, huge drum sound. So I think Lars was pissed off at James and Bob Rock and he purposely recorded Saint Anger with that open snare just to be a fucking weenus. You know what I mean? He's not even a penis. He's a fucking weenus. You know, he's just to be a little dickhead. He fucking sabotaged the whole record, man. But the Black Album, you definitely have to get it. So, and like you said last night, I'm not counting S&M. I just
S&M was just their way of, trying to get your grandma to come listen to them, get that symphony orchestra. I'm indifferent. I don't hate the S&M shit, but I don't care for it either. You know what I mean?
Yeah, me too, man. I've never owned it. I never will. It's not. I'm a completist or a completionist. But I like that's like Lulu. I don't care. It's not going to bother me or trigger any OCD if I don't have S&M. So
right, like I won't buy Lulu either.
Yeah, and that's where I'm at with Megadeth. Like I really don't want to buy Risk or Cryptic Writings. I really don't like either of those albums. Some people get on me like, "Oh, Cryptic Writings is great." I'm like, "No, dude, it's not. It wasn't back then. It's not now." I'm going to have to stream it, though, to make sure I'm not talking out the side of my ass. But and one of the main reasons is Cryptic Writings, because it's one of the 4 that never got reissued. The prices on that record are fucking stupid. Like idiotic. Like I couldn't believe what I'm seeing. Like, how does that album become $100 album?
Right.
No fucking way. That's no way is that album worth $100. But
the Rocket Record Store, they have a Marty Friedman album that in there.
Yeah, he did a lot of stuff.
They want $80 for this Marty Friedman album.
Yeah, that's the thing is with Robot over there. Some of their prices are good, but some of them are outrageous. I wish I had a car because they had the one album I've been looking for years. And he had it, and he was going to hold it for me. And I know that fucker's gone already. It was the Charlie Manson record, man.
I wouldn't. I don't know.
Yeah, it was a bootleg. It was a bootleg, but I've never seen one for sale. Well, the one I saw was an original, and the guy wanted $300, and I told him to go fuck himself. But it's and people kind of look at me side-eyed when I say that. Like, man, you really want to buy a Charlie Manson record? Yes, it's awesome. It's so strange and weird that it kind of makes you wonder, dude. Like if the whole Charlie Manson thing wasn't what they said it was, but that's a whole nother topic of discussion right there.
Yeah,
but yeah, $80 for a Marty Friedman record.
Yeah, it's got him and some other guy. There's 2 of them on the cover. I don't remember. I don't know. Let me see.
Maybe Jason Becker, but I think Jason Becker would have been already crippled by that point.
Well, I'm getting ready to look and see. Because as soon as Speed Metal Symphony with Jason Becker.
Yeah, I was right, dude.
Yeah.
You got to give me some points. You got to give me some points, man.
Yeah, that's the one from 1987. Yeah, he wants $80.
Yeah, because I was thinking, I thought it might have been post Megadeth, but when you said there was 2 guys on the cover, I'm like, it has to be Jason Becker, dude.
Yeah, it's Speed Metal Symphony. He wants $80 for it.
Yeah, well, that's rare as fuck, man. And it's an OG that'll never get reissued. Never get reissued. But is there anybody in town besides dorks like you and me that are going to pay $80? No,
I don't know.
It's not the market. I mean, well, I'm not as cool as I used to be. I was going to say, man, I know all the heads in this town, but
But
I
when
don't.
it sits there for a long time, he's got the option of putting it on the internet, and then that's when it'll sell.
Yeah, dude, he'll probably get $80. If he was smart, he'd be doing Whatnot, because Whatnot, that shit sells like that shit goes all the time for those kind of prices. That's why I wish you and me would go into business. I'd start my own Whatnot shop out in the garage, but I'd have to find a way to get to the stuff to the post office and everything. But
Yeah, but you don't want to sell none of your stuff. You say you do, but you don't.
I don't. I told my counselor that I put some records up for. Well, it wasn't my counselor; it was my buddy. He's like, well, you could sell some of those records to offset the cost and get more records or be able to actually afford groceries sometimes. And I'm like, dude, I can't do it. I put up a Slipknot record and an Iron Maiden record. And, because I felt bad that I bought so much. And I got hits on it right away. And they're like, oh, I can come and pick it up right now. And I lied. I'm like, oh, I'm sorry, this sold already. I couldn't do it. I couldn't get rid of a single one, dude.
See?
I sold one. I was feeling guilty, so I sold one record for $10. And I've been trying to get it back on Whatnot for months, Like they're like my babies, man. I
That's
don't
what I'm
got a
saying.
family. I don't got a family, so I surround myself with records, man. I don't know what I'm going to do when Bubba ain't around.
Buy more records.
Yeah, I can't talk to the records though.
You'll buy
I
another
can't.
dog. Here's the thing. You love Bubba. Bubba loves you. But Bubba won't live forever.
Right.
And the good thing about animals is we love our family. We loved our loved ones. If a child dies or a wife dies or a brother dies, you're lost. You can never replace it. We have the
Right.
luxury. We have the luxury as human beings to replace our pets. I know it sounds cold, but
Yeah, but it's true though. I mean, I still miss my cat that I had for 17 years, but I love Bubba just as much, if not more, than I love that cat.
right. And
You know, and,
you'll always love Bubba, but
right.
one day you're gonna have to. I personally think you should get Bubba's replacement while Bubba's still around.
I know that's what I keep thinking about. And I'm going to get help from my dog walker. She's going to help me get another dog.
Because you don't
And,
get big dogs, you get little dogs, so that's fine. And this way, Bubba's got somebody to a new person to get to know and be friendly with. And when Bubba goes, you'll have someone there to comfort you.
right,
Because if Bubba goes and you only have Bubba, you're gonna have to depend on people to come over and give you support. And until then,
right.
you're just sitting there by yourself. But if you already have a dog, you've got your support, and that dog will miss Bubba too, so y'all can bond. I know it sounds sick, but you can bond
No, but
over
it's
the loss.
true, though. It's true. I think
Yeah,
I'm going to start working on that right away. Trying to get, I'd love to get another pug. I bet you Bubs would be jealous for a couple days, but she'd get over it.
how does Bubba do good when she's with the other dogs with the dog
Yeah, she
walker?
doesn't do too bad. And I had a foster dog over here for a long time that was her best buddy. His name was Peanut Head. And he was just the sweetest little dog. And my bitch ex-wife, I had made a comment that he was driving me crazy. So she got on the phone and arranged to have a different foster family come and get Peanut Head on Christmas Eve. And I'm like, you got to be kidding me. You're going to take my dog away from me on Christmas Eve? And yeah, and I never fostered another dog after that. Bubba was devastated. I was devastated. I really wanted to adopt him myself, but I just didn't.
But yeah, I think that's the route for you to go. And I think you
Yeah, me
should
too. Yeah.
get yourself. You and Bubba should get yourself a new friend.
Get a new little duder running around here, man. That's probably what I'll name him is Duder.
Duder, there you go.
Duder. Yeah,
Name it.
Bubba and Duder. I'm not real good with names, so I gotta
Just
go
don't
with the goofy stuff.
just don't name the dog Scooter Pie.
Yeah, Scooter. I call Bubba Cooter Pie, or not Cooter Pie. I call her Cutie Pie every once in a
Cutie
while.
Pie.
Yeah, and
So well, I guess it's time. We've been on 2 hours. It's time for us
yeah,
to.
yeah. After I said Cooter Pie, we gotta go, man.
Yeah, you need to rest. You
Yeah,
guys,
yeah.
you guys gotta. Do you know when your next backwoods is coming?
Well, it's not this coming weekend, so it's probably the weekend after that. I have no idea what we're discussing because it was an anniversary show, and God, it went almost 4 hours last time. I only made it 3 hours, but yeah. So I'm guessing it'll probably be probably the first week in May, probably.
Okay, all right.
So yeah.
Yeah.
So
I
yeah,
don't.
nothing else in the docket. My computer's still down, so the live shows aren't coming. Are you gonna go? You gonna do the sideshow this weekend playlist?
If I do, I have to record it tomorrow. I haven't
Right,
decided because I haven't picked an album. There'll always be a playlist. I don't know if it'll be new or if it'll be a rerun.
right. A
Um,
lot of the reruns that you've had on, I've seen those already or listened to
right,
them already.
right. So I don't know. I don't know. So I'm unsure. I'll probably do a new one. I just don't know what yet, but you'll know when I'll post it, and
Gotcha,
then
gotcha.
don't forget Tyrese on Sunday,
Yep, Tyrese Tavern. Yep,
and then Ken's on Tuesday,
yep.
and then sometimes I'm on Wednesday for sideshow, sometimes I'm not. So that's what's going on. But make
That
sure
was a
you
good show last night, man.
make sure you go to grandpathernerd.com and go up to the top. You can go to Rabbit and Red's website, check out everything Rabbit and Red related. Also help out so we can. My wife's getting ready to come on board to help with the producing and figuring out the budget to Camp Out Nightmare, so we could use the help there. So we got that
Right.
GoFundMe. So that would help out. And then also I got a link to Ken's site, livingmedia.org, and you can help out with Death Bitch too. So everything you need to know what's going on, you can find it at grandpathenerd.com. And with that, I guess that's it.
All right.
I guess we'll get out of here, and we will be back. Hopefully everybody's healthy and we don't drown, and we'll be back next week.
Gotcha, man. Sounds good, dude.
All right.
All right. Peace.
All right, man. See ya.
Yep. Bye.
Bye.